The quiet routine. A writer in exile can't stay hidden forever. Solitude was supposed to bring peace. Instead, it left him waiting for something he couldn't name. This is the first in a series of interconnected short stories about Liam Harding, a writer who escapes to a quiet Greek island, only to find that solitude isn't always peaceful. If you enjoy it, follow along for more. The morning sun caught in Liam's coffee cup, throwing amber light across the weathered porch boards. Below, fishing boats dotted the harbour like scattered thoughts, their hulls pale against the deeper blue of the Aegean. He'd watched this same scene unfold hundreds of times since coming to the island, each dawn promising the peace he'd sought when he fled here. But today, the quiet felt less like peace and more like waiting. A shout from the harbour drew his attention. Yanis was gesturing at his grandson, who had tangled himself in a fishing net. The boy's laughter carried up the hillside, bright and unrestrained. Liam watched them work to free the net, their movements easy and practiced despite the mishap. Family, belonging, the kind of connection he'd been avoiding for nearly a year. The manuscript sat on his desk inside, gathering dust and judgment in equal measure. He hadn't touched it in months. The words had stopped coming around the same time he'd stopped answering emails from his editor. The same time he'd started telling himself that silence was what he needed. A sharp rap at his door startled him. Through the window he caught sight of Marina, the baker's wife, holding a cloth-wrapped bundle and a leather folder.
Liam, open up. I know you're in there.
He considered pretending he hadn't heard, but Marina's knocking only grew more insistent. With a sigh, he opened the door.
You missed the meeting, she said, pushing past him into the house. Again.
Marina set her bundle on the table, fixing him with a look that reminded him of his mother.
The festival committee. You promised to help write the program for the tourists. Since you didn't come to us, I brought the work to you.
The smell of fresh bread filled the small room. Marina pulled a stack of papers from the leather folder and spread them across his table, right next to his untouched notebook.
I can't, Liam started. I'm not...
Not what? Too busy staring at the sea? Her tone was gentle despite the words. The whole village is helping Liam, even the children. And you? You hide up here with your thoughts and your silence.
The truth of it stung. He looked away, his gaze falling on the manuscript. Marina followed his look and softened slightly.
We're not asking for your great novel. Just help us tell visitors about our traditions, the dances, the food, the music. You're a writer. This is what you do, isn't it?
What I used to do, he thought, before the words dried up, before he'd convinced himself that silence was an answer. He picked up one of the papers, a rough list of festival events scribbled in Marina's hurried hand.
The tourists will come whether you're ready or not. The festival will happen. Life goes on.
Life goes on. The words echoed in his head as he looked at the list. Simple things. Traditional dances in the square, fishing boat races in the harbour, food stalls serving local specialties. The kind of everyday magic he'd been watching from a distance, recording in his head but never really joining.
I'll do it.
Good, because I wasn't leaving until you agreed. The bread is olive, my mother's recipe. Even hermits need to eat.
After she left, Liam sat at the table, staring at the festival notes. Life had been flowing past while he stood still. He'd told himself he was finding peace, but maybe he'd just been hiding, running away in slow motion. He picked up his pen and pulled a fresh sheet of paper closer. The events began to take shape under his hand, not just dry descriptions, but the story of the island itself, told through its celebrations. The words came easier than he'd expected, as if they'd been waiting for something simple and true to carry them. Outside, the harbour hummed with morning activity. A ferry's horn echoed across the water. Arriving or departing, he couldn't tell. For the first time in months, he felt the pull to find out. This is the first in a series of interconnected short stories following Liam Harding's journey from isolation to rediscovery. If you enjoyed it, let me know in the comments. Next up, the festival. Liam delivers his writing to the festival committee, but watching life isn't the same as living it. Part of the Stillness Within collection, this story introduces readers to a man caught between his desire for tranquility and his growing awareness that true peace might require something more than silence. Follow me for the next chapter.